Start off the front three. Owens starts at nose tackle, but Mark Spindler will return and see plenty of action today. The linebackers, Spielman, Swillig, Johnson, and Thomas, some of the very best. Thomas and Johnson, great additions. And in the secondary, Blades returning to Pro Bowl form after the injury from last year. 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard gain. McDowell in motion. Erickson, his first throw. It's complete at about the 47-yard line. Little short of a first down.
In talking to Sam Weiss earlier, he had mentioned that they script the first 15 plays. They're charted. And obviously the ideal scenario would be for them to score in the first play. They didn't do that. But to use all the 15 plays in a time-consuming drive would be the next best scenario.
Charles Wilson on that catch. A 3rd and 1 now. Buccaneers like to get going early, but turnovers hurt them last week. Armstrong in motion. And a couple of players go across. Robert Forshea, the first one to go across the line of scrimmage. So our first flag of the afternoon.
Offside. Defense, number 91. 5 yards. First down.
Dale Hamer gives the Buccaneer fans the news they wanted. So Forshea gives Tampa Bay their first down. Again, last week, Marcus, Tampa Bay in their first drive from scrimmage moved the football extremely well, but turned it over. So that's a problem they had last week. Took them right out of the game against the Packers.
Well, they've been doing pretty well within the 20s, and once they get down near the 20, they had difficult opportunity to score. They have 1 touchdown in the last 39 opening drives, so hopefully they can get one here.
And they have not scored a touchdown in their last 6 quarters. McDowell and Workman again. Workman with a nice hole and close to another first down. Vince Workman, strong run. Broderick Thomas brings him down. A 10-yard gain.
Just a nice off-tackle play. Beckles does a wonderful job of getting the block in there, and he gets the first down. It's no fair dodging there. That's short yardage. That's where it's all meat and potatoes right there.
Vernon Turner has checked into the backfield for Workman. Courtney Hawkins split out to the right. Charles Wilson to the left. 1st and 10. Bucks now at the Lions 38. Vernon Turner cuts inside, a nice move, and Turner gains about 7 or 8. Michael Johnson on the stop. With Tampa Bay impressive early.
Yeah, they're trying to come out and score on the first drive. That was a nice sweep to the left of the field there. If you watch the block of, I think it's Eccles and Scott Deal, he does an excellent job as he jumps up inside. He reads the block and picks up 8. That's wonderful.
2nd and 2 now. Wilson goes in motion. Workman immediately brought down. Forshea on the stop. And it appears he's just short of the first down.
Forshea trying to make up for that offsides earlier. Did a good job. Came off the block and made the tackle.
Erickson said, and this is an obvious thing, that they've got to move the chains. They want to keep Barry Sanders off the field, keep their offense on there as much as possible, and obviously they're trying to mix it up quite a bit.
They're doing a good job so far.
3rd down and 2. They're now at the 30-yard line. Several receivers in motion. Workman now splits out to the left side. McDowell was the lone setback. Erickson, quick toss. Charles Wilson with a first down to the 23-yard line. Ryan McNeil with the stop, but not before they'll move the chains again.
Sam Walsh must put a new wrinkle in there. It looked like a Canadian motion or something. As you see it here, it's a one-on-one coverage out to the right, and he takes advantage of that, and Ryan McNeil makes the play.
Weiss always with the extra fancy plays on occasion. 1st and 10 ball, spotted at the 23, the Lions 23. Double tight end. Ty.J. Armstrong now goes with a 2-back set with Workman. Erickson to throw. Pumps. Incomplete. Excellent defense from Ryan McNeil as Hawkins couldn't get free.
It certainly was. It looked like Erickson saw something he didn't like and called the audible. And I think what the Detroit Lions did was back out into his zone and sort of tricked him on that play.
So a 2nd and 10 coming up. Sam Weiss in his 3rd year with the Buccaneers.
This is where they normally have trouble scoring or moving the ball, so it should be a great opportunity for them.
Erickson, the long count. Big rush from the Lions. Pass is complete. Courtney Hawkins. And just short of the first down. Robert Massey on the stop.
Well, that's blitz territory. They did a great job picking up the blitz. He saw the wide out to the left. Did a great job of blocking.
The Lions will come at us, and as you said, talking about Broderick Thomas earlier, he loves his new position on the outside here.
Well, he loves to blitz. He loves to rush the quarterback, especially like to isolate him on a running back, and that's a tough task.
3rd and 1. This is the 9th play of the drive. Armstrong in motion. Straight up Workman, a first down and more. Gets down to about the 4-yard line. Chris Spielman makes the stop. Tim Irwin a key block.
That was a great job by Irwin on off-tackle play. As the defensive tackle slants in, they basically ran themselves out of the play. And Workman does a good job of following his blocks.
A rare missed tackle from Benny Blades.
It doesn't happen very often.
1st and goal from the 4. Buccaneers, same scenario as last week as Jackie Harris goes in motion. They want to punch it in. Workman, close, just short of the goal line.
An impressive drive thus far for Bucks. On off-tackle play, he hesitated a little bit there, and he had a chance to get in there. Down to the 1.
Blades and Johnson on the stop. Workman is an underrated back. You don't get a lot of word about him because he plays for Tampa Bay, but he's an effective runner.
I talked to Coach Willie Pete. He thinks very highly of him. Very underrated.
2nd and goal. Mazio Royster in the backfield with McDowell. That's Royster. Stopped. Spielman. Fumble. Tampa Bay recovers. However, they might have blown it dead beforehand.
Well, this is where the game gets tough down here. There's no free lunches. I mean, this is man on man. Spielman came over and did an excellent job. Initially, there was a hole, but he came and stuffed it, and he dropped the ball there. And Tony Mayberry, the center, did a great job of jumping on the ball and recovering it.
So a 3rd and goal. Ball now back at the 4 off the hit from Spielman. More Sam Weiss offense. That's Jackie Harris in motion. Royster keeps going and is stopped. Perhaps another loss. And some boos from the Buccaneer faithful. Mark Spindler, who has not played at all this year prior to this afternoon, makes the stop.
I don't quite understand that play. I thought they were in a perfect position to pass and set a pick on the right side as the wide receiver came in motion, but apparently not. Sam Weiss had other things in mind.
Michael Husted will commit a 23-yard field goal attempt. Husted 5 of 7 so far in 94. Straczynski will hold. The only 2 misses have both come from 54 yards out. Very effective in close. And a 3-0 Tampa Bay lead. They certainly wanted the score, but Sam Weiss has to be happy getting on the board to begin this one. Out of time and off the clock.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
The Buccaneers, 13 plays, 57 yards. They get to the 1. They don't get the TD, but a 3-point lead early on. Husted to kick off. Mel Gray, Derek Moore back. That's Mel Gray, the veteran. Gets across the 20, up to about the 28-yard line. And Scott Mitchell, Barry Sanders, and the offense will take over from there. Scott Mitchell, the free agent, hoping to get the Lions on track. Buccaneers score on their first possession. Lions now have it for the first time. Of course, featuring Barry Sanders, who is off to the best start in terms of 4 games of his career. He has been phenomenal. And Scott Mitchell, who Wayne Fonz says he believes he can take them to the Super Bowl. Lions 1st and 10 at their own 25. Sanders alone setback. Brett Perryman in motion. Sanders quickly to call. Fights through, maybe 3 yards. Demetrius DeVos on the stop. Starting lineups for the Lions this afternoon. Mitchell signed a 3-year, $11 million deal to be the man for the Lions. The offensive line, Brown, the Pro Bowler. Glover, the underrated center. Of course, Sanders the key, but Herman Moore becoming one of the premier wide receivers in the NFL. 2-yard gain for Sanders, 2nd and 8. Sanders again, cuts back, and somehow gets a couple of extra yards. Lonnie Martz makes the stop. The Buccaneer defense. Eric Curry returns after a 1-game absence. A very young defensive line for Sam Weish. DeBose will get the start, the middle linebacker for the injured Nickerson. And the secondary, very strong. Everett's foot needs to be watched. Did not practice all this week. Mayhew and Dimry, very experienced corners. 3rd and 5 now. Lions at their own 30. 6 defensive backs in the game now for Tampa Bay. Herman Moore goes in motion. Mitchell's first pass of the afternoon. He's got some mobility. Fires incomplete. Excellent pressure.
That was an excellent job by Tampa Bay's defense. Great coverage, put pressure on the quarterback, and Scott Mitchell just threw it away.
Sanders a little shaken up on the play prior to that incompletion. Jeff Brady gets into the backfield. Brady, one of those who's going to have to pick up the slack for Hardy Nickerson. DeBose starts, but Brady plays in a lot of pass situations. So 3 and out for the Lions. Greg Montgomery, one of the best of the NFL, will punt. Turner is back. Good rush. Just gets it off with a beautiful high kick. Turner at his own 19. Crosses the 30. Still going. Turner's got some room. He's got 1 man to beat. No flags. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Vernon Turner, an 81-yard return. The first ever punt return for a touchdown in Tampa Bay history.
You're absolutely right. He did a great job of picking up his blockers and got around on the picket fence to the right side and took it all the way to the house.
Turner played for the Lions last year and learned some of his craft from Mel Gray. And the Buccaneers with a 9-0 lead.
Well, he strutted his stuff early in that return. He knew he had the sidelines, and he got a great block down at the end.
Save that ball for me, says Vernon Turner.
And took it all the way to the house.
Houston will come on for the extra point.
The first ever return for the Buccaneers.
On a punt or a kickoff. 10-0. Tampa Bay. Wow. Quick start for the Buccaneers. Buccaneers jump out to a quick start. 80-yard punt return. Vernon Turner. And it's 10-0. Houston's been busy early on. That's Mel Gray. Gray has some room. Trying to get outside. And Gray forced out at about the 32.
Vernon catches the ball and he high steps along the sidelines. Picks up some great blocks along the sideline. The final one right here is the one that took him home. Jeff Brady made a nice one. And Mazier Royce just takes out the punter. And he does a great job of setting up. And That's 6 points.
Montgomery not even an opportunity to make a tackle with that beautiful block from Royster. Where'd he go to school, Royster? Southern Cal?
You know. Great job. That was a nice block by Starger right there. And he sets him up. Well, there's a lot of linemen running down to get him. That's unfair. We call that the picket fence. He picked it up. Great block right there. And he's on his way home.
I didn't know USC running backs were allowed to block like that.
I'm ignoring you. And
they have said all along that they're a much better team this year. And obviously pleased with the terrific start this afternoon. The player down on the field right now for Tampa Bay, Keith Poe, shaken up on that kickoff. Tampa Bay seen enough of the injury last year, of course, or last week, I should say. Hardy Nickerson goes down in the first play against Green Bay. 4:35 remaining, opening quarter. Tampa.
here's Keith Poe right here, the injured player. We don't know exactly what happened. Hopefully we get an injury update. It's very difficult to see him. He's underneath that pile right there. But as the play continues, we'll get an injury update as soon as possible.
Lions take over their own 31. Mitchell will throw on first down. Fires incomplete. Way high, intended for Perriman.
Well, Scott has not got up to a good start. He talked about earlier this week that he wanted to raise his receiving percentage or completion percentage, and he hasn't done that thus far.
Buccaneers have said they feel they can rattle Scott Mitchell if they get pressure, and thus far they've been able to get in the backfield a little bit. 2nd and 10. Ron Hall, the tight end, in motion. Sanders. A couple of cuts and brought down. Excellent tackle. Mike Magruder. That's not easy to do. Take him down open like that.
As you see Sanders coming at you, Magruder does a great job because that's one of the most feared positions to be in, one-on-one with Barry Sanders. Most often Barry wins. So far, Tampa Bay Bucks are winning up front.
3rd and 8. Sanders 3 carries, 7 yards early on. That doesn't mean anything, though, in terms of the length. Mitchell looking under pressure again. Fires it down. Almost picked off as Magruder got a hand in there, but Perryman couldn't hold on.
There was great pressure by Eric Curry in that play. And here comes Magruder again. He comes in. I think it was an excellent play on his part.
And Perryman didn't seem to argue with the officials on that. Magruder looked like he lost a step at the last second. May have gotten a hand to pick it off. Montgomery, his second punt. And the crowd wants Vernon Turner to bring another one back. He's back at his own 21. Another fine punt from Montgomery. Turner at his own 15. And falls down. Gets tripped up. 52-yard punt. A 7-yard return. Scott Kowalkowski on the stop.
It was a nice shoestring tackle by Scott because he's almost out of there again.
Turner very impressive. Want to remind you this game presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the National Football League is prohibited. Erickson now doesn't have to go to the air early with a 10-0 lead. 1st and 10. Buccaneers at their own 22. Ty J. Armstrong in motion. Straight up and an extra couple of yards for Anthony McDowell. McDowell's been banged up, but they say he's now getting healthy. Check that Eric Rhett on the carry. Eric Rhett, the 2nd round pick out of Florida.
Yeah, Rhett's a great back. They have high promise for him. He came into camp a little late, So he's been slow picking up some of the offense, but expect great things from him.
8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Jackie Harris in motion, and another flag. Forshea again moved over on the right side.
Coachman, number 91 in the defense, 5 yards.
You see it at the top of your screen. Forshea jumps off sides, and that just drives coaches crazy. And that's why a lot of coaches are joining the Hair Club for Men. That's his second penalty, so I'm quite sure he's going to get talked to when he comes to the sidelines.
The 5th first down now for Tampa Bay. Lions have yet to have one. Obviously, the Buccaneers, as you see there, dominating here in the first quarter. Erickson on first down will throw. Incomplete, intended for McDowell out of the backfield. Benny Blades on the coverage. Erickson, because you talk about Sam Weiss telling him he's the starter, he has handled this situation with Dilfer as well as you can handle it.
He certainly has. The two of them get along great. I talked to him yesterday. He seems like a class guy. He wants to win so badly. He'll do anything he can, and he has the opportunity. He has to take advantage of it.
That one interception came last week against Green Bay. 2nd and 10. Eric Rett gets caught and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. A flag thrown on the play. That's Swilling in on the stop.
There appears to be face mask on that play. We'll get the ruling in a moment. But Pat Swilling made a nice play at the top of the screen and did a great job, except for he grabbed the face mask. You see it right there. That's only a 5-yard penalty, though. It wasn't intentional.
So Swilling adds to the penalty woes. Lions have really struggled early on. Have not been able to move the ball offensively, and defensively they've been able to run the ball. Tampa Bay has. Just received word Keith Poe, a sprained knee on that kickoff. He will not return this afternoon. 2nd and 5 off the penalty. Redd the lone setback. Gets the call again. Eric Redd, another first down. Kelvin Pritchett on the stop, but the offensive line really coming off the ball well.
They certainly are. They are out physically Detroit Lions. As we see here, I think it's just a trap underneath. Conover comes around. Yes, certainly. The whole front is doing a great job.
Rett, the all-time leading rusher for the Florida Gators. A few guys, name of Emmitt Smith and Neil Anderson. Not bad to pass those guys.
I think he outgained Emmitt Smith in college.
1st and 10 at their own 48. More flags as Rett gets another call and gets about 5 more yards. Michael Johnson in on the stop.
Yeah. Right.
Dale Hamer getting a lot of airtime in the first quarter.
Erickson said yesterday the offensive line has been playing great. We've got to get better production out of the skills players. So far, they proved him right.
Roderick Thomas offsides. Wayne Fonts and his Lions a little bit confused here in the first quarter. So a 1st and 5 situation. Just under a minute remaining in the first quarter. Rett and McDowell in the backfield. Anthony McDowell gains a few short of the first down, but he gets down to about the 43-yard line. Dan Owens makes the stop.
Dan Owens did make the stop, but I got to tell you that the Buccaneers are just giving the Lions so many different looks. They're confusing them, and they're doing a great job up front, as I said before, and they're picking up yardage when they need to.
2nd and 2. Spotted now at the 44. Courtney Hawkins split out to the right. Jackie Harris in motion. Eric Rett First down, Tampa Bay. Down to the 39. Spielman with the stop. And the first quarter has ended. All Buccaneers here in the opening period. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Tampa Bay 10, Detroit nothing. Sam Weich's team controlling the football here in that first quarter.
That's what they wanted to do, to keep control of the ball and keep Barry Sanders on the bench.
First and 10.
It's the same old Tampa Bay, but they feel differently. These guys are excited about playing, and at this point, they're proving it.
Second and 5. They've moved the football very well here as we open up the second quarter. Play action with Erickson. Fires downfield, intended for Dave Moore, the tight end, incomplete. Michael Johnson with some excellent coverage. If you're looking for action and adventure, turn to Fox this Friday night. Meet a new breed of superhero, Mantis. Followed by the show USA Today calls excellent, thrilling, and terrifying, The X-Files. It's a night of all new episodes this Friday on Fox. Third and 5 coming up. Lions, they need to stop. They have not been able to put a lot of pressure on Erickson thus far, and they certainly haven't stopped the run.
No, they haven't. This is a critical down for Tampa because this is the area that they've admitted that they've struggled in, so they have to come up with a play.
Erickson doesn't like what he sees, and Tampa Bay calls their first timeout.
Tampa Bay timeout.
Buccaneers still in control as they try to win their second of the season.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. By Wendy's, after 25 years, quality is still our recipe. And by Heineken, just being the best is enough.
Still a threat of rain in Tampa. Buccaneer fans here don't care. Their team leads 10-0, but a big 3rd and 5 coming up.
I think we should look for Jackie Harrison to play unless he's going to be double teamed. I think he may go to him.
Erickson will throw. Complete. Charles Wilson. Nobody's in front of him. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. 35-yard scoring play.
I was right. He went to Charles Wilson. He was double teamed.
Well, Harris has been double teamed all season, and Wilson single coverage.
Well, that's the great benefit of having Jackie Harris because he's drawn most of the attention. As we see it here, Erickson drops back to pass. He has great protection, and he just runs a pivot. And Benny Blaze went for the interception and missed it, and there's nobody catching Charles Wilson on this play.
Erickson makes the throw with Chris Spielman in his face. Third catch for Wilson, and that one, of course, for a score. Michael Houston on for the extra point. The Buccaneers dominating. Early second quarter, they're up 17-0. Houston to kick off. A boomer. And Alliance will take over at their own 20. No, Gray didn't have a shot off that beautiful kick from Houston.
As you see, Charles Wilson is going to come down over here towards the middle of the field. Erickson drops back to pass. And he runs a pivot right in front of the safety. Jackie Harris is getting double teamed at the top, which is a great benefit to the wide receivers because he just took two guys out and beat him. Sort of a bad play by Benny Thomas. Benny Blade, excuse me. He should have wrapped up and came with the other arm to make the play.
Charles Wilson off to an excellent start. Scott Mitchell and the Lions cannot say that for them. Mitchell 0 for 3 passing thus far. Lions still looking for their first down of the game. Have it at their own 20. Mitchell will throw. Downfield, Herman Moore complete at about the 37.
That was excellent coverage by Martin Mayhew, but let's face it, there's nothing he could do. Herman Moore, is a 7-foot high jumper in college. There's nothing you can do on this play. Great coverage. He was all over him. And Herman makes the catch.
17-yard gain. 1st and 10 at their own 37. Lions will have to throw a little bit more now, down 17-0. But of course, when he has the ball, it's a different story. Sanders breaks some tackles. Cross midfield, knocked out of bounds at about the 43. Thomas Everett pushes him out. 21-yard gain.
See, that's what makes Barry Sanders so special. You stop him several times for a 1-yard loss, 2-yard run, and then he'll break one. And he's constantly breaking tackles for his size. You don't think he hits his powerful legs, just watch him go.
Defenders say he never seems tired.
I talked to him during the, yesterday, and he said during the offseason he plays basketball for his workouts.
That's his training regime. Sanders again makes a couple of cuts, gets away from Brady, and still makes down to about the 36. Right now, for McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Mike, tell Marcus to take a look at Emmitt Smith here on this 6-yard run. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the game, 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Dallas leads at 14-0 in the 2nd. Back to Tampa Bay, Mike and Marcus.
Buccaneers in the lead, but finally the Lions driving. They're down at the Tampa Bay 37-yard line. 2nd and 5. Rodney Holman in motion. Mitchell's going to throw a quick drop. Holman has it, 1st down and more. Down to about the 28. Lonnie Martz and Marty Carter on the stop. Martz, teammate of yours in the Kansas City Chiefs last year.
A great athlete, converted safety, could run with anybody on any back on the pass pattern, and he's strong enough to force on the run. He's a great athlete. Rodney Holman, in his 11th year, 13th year, just continues to make plays.
The 3-time Pro Bowler. 1st and 10, ball now at the 28. Sanders on a pitch. Tries to get outside and knocked out. Charles Dimry, perhaps with a face mask.
See, the Lions are doing a good job right now. They haven't panicked. They got plenty of time. They just take their time and go down and run their offense. They can
5
score.
yards. Number 39 in the defense. Tack on to the end of the run.
For a lot of teams, when you're up 17-0, the defense can look for the pass, but when you play in the Detroit Lions and Barry Sanders, you can never just be thinking pass.
1st and 3.
Well, with Barry Sanders in the backfield, you're always in the game, no matter how much you're down. So it's important just to maintain your poise.
1st and 3 at the 21. Off the penalty. Moore and Perryman split out to the right side. Perryman gets it on the reverse, has the 1st down, and knocked out of bounds at about the 13. Marty Carter with the stop, but the Lions now moving the chains.
That was a nice job by the Lions. They faked the ball to Barry Sanders, obviously, which is going to get everyone's attention. And they ran a reverse. As we see here, he fakes it to Barry, hands off to Perryman. And he does a good job of getting upfield after he sees he has no other place to go. That was a nice job by Lomas
Second
Brown.
charge, timeout, Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay calls timeout. Scott Mitchell wants to get the Lions on the board. It's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader following today's game. Some of you will see the second half of Fox's doubleheader with Warren Moon and the Minnesota Vikings going to Arizona, taking on Buddy Ryan and the tough Cardinals, while the Philadelphia Eagles battling the San Francisco 49ers. Catch all the action right here on Fox Sports. Lions in a 17-0 hole, but driving right now. It started at their own 20, and they're down at the Tampa Bay 14. 1st and 10. Mitchell fakes the reverse, fires in the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Ron Hall, the tight end. Coverage, Barney Bussey.
They did a wonderful job of faking the reverse. And actually, Ron Hall had a step on Barney Bussey. He just overthrew it.
Mitchell 2 of 6 so far for 26 yards. That could have been 6 points.
That
The
should
throw
have
was a little better.
That should have been 6 points.
2nd and 10. Sanders cuts inside, down to about the 6, short of the first down. Santana Dotson makes the stop.
I get the feeling that Barry is just starting to warm up. I think he's starting to get in the groove. Nice job of blocking.
Well, Santana Dotson told us you're giving yourself a high five for stopping him in the first half, and then all of a sudden you're chasing him in the second half.
That's why I said earlier, with Barry in the backfield, you're always in the game.
3rd and 3. Big play for the Lions, who are down 17-0. Sanders cuts back in and gets the first down.
That's Barry Sanders at his best right there. He was stopped, kept his balance. As you see right here, the leg strength, the drive.
The knee, hit the ground, part of the line to gain, 4th down.
They say that Sanders' knee touched before the ball came down, so they are short of that first down. Just short.
Well, that's sort of impossible to determine, in my opinion.
Timeout. Detroit.
Wayne Fonts will call a timeout.
Timeout. 40 seconds.
Fonts wants to think about this a little bit. Looks like a good call, Marcus.
Yeah, I think it was a good call by the officials.
So just short.
That's one of the things that make Barry Sanders so tough. He runs so low to the ground. He's very seldom seen behind the line of scrimmage because he's so short, because his linemen are so big.
Now, Fonts likes to go for it on 4th down. Last week against the Patriots, early on, they had a 4th down situation. Well, they certainly weren't this close to the goal line. They went for it, were stopped, and the Patriots scored off it. And that turned out to be a very big play in the game.
Well, they have to go for it at this point, not because they're 17 down, because I think he's trying to build momentum. He's trying to build some confidence in the team right now. In order for them to go for it, they have to make this in order for that to happen.
4th and 1. They spot it at the 5. You expect it to go to number 20. Fakes it to Sanders. Mitchell, first down, touchdown.
That was a great call. A great call. He did exactly what you thought he was going to do. He faked it to Barry, didn't give it to him. And obviously that's going to draw the attention of the entire defense. That was a great call. Excellent. Bootleg left. As he comes, the line does a great job of showing run. And the entire team went after Sanders. And Scott Mitchell just, well, he's a big guy. You better get out of his way. I don't care if he is a quarterback.
Untouched on the 5-yard run. 17-6. Hansen on with the extra point. Dave Craig, the holder. And the Lions quickly bounce back. Coming up on the midway point, 2nd quarter, Scott Mitchell has Detroit on the board.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Diet Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for.
Trivia question. Today's NFL trivia question is, what is the longest run in Super Bowl history? Let you ponder that a little bit. We'll have your answer a little later on. Jason Hansen set to kick off. Lions just coming off the score.
Am I allowed to answer that question?
No.
Why not?
We'll explain later. So a big touchdown for the Detroit Lions after falling behind 17-0. They go 80 yards for the score. Hanson to kickoff. Turner lost it back. Buckley now has it. And Buckley turns, knocked out of bounds, but good field position all the way up to about the 38-yard line.
What happens here is Scott Mitchell fakes to Barry Sanders, and the whole line goes down the line of scrimmage. He rolls out, and he's wide open. He fakes it there. He rolls out.
Offside on the
and he's
kicking
wide
team.
open.
That was declined. First down.
And he runs it in. That was an important drive for them because, once again, it gave them confidence. And that's what they needed because they were 17 down and things weren't going well. And I think that gave them a boost. I think it gave them an emotional boost, which was greatly needed.
Lions are offside on that kick, but Buccaneers, with the excellent field position, declined the penalty. They'll start at their own 36. Craig Erickson and the Buccaneers have moved the football extremely well in the first half. Eric Rhett is the lone setback. Two tight ends in the game. Rhett the call, and it doesn't go anywhere. Right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Mike. Sterling Sharp is now within 3 receptions of the Packers' all-time receptions mark. This one, an 11-yard pass from Brett Favre. And Green Bay is leading New England 10-0. That one in the second. Back to Tampa Bay, Mike Breen and Marcus Allen.
8.5 remaining, second quarter. Buccaneers 2nd and 10, their own 36. Erickson, complete. Ty.J. Armstrong, the tight end, maybe 2 yards. Robert Massey on the stop and good coverage.
It's an excellent job by Robert Massey. The special teams are doing a great job for Tampa at this point because it obviously is much easier to go 65 yards for a touchdown rather than 90. So they've started off in great field position each time they've had the ball.
And Erickson's been very effective. Certainly no reason for Sam Weiss to even glance at Trent Dilfer yet. 3rd and 6. Erickson will throw again. Complete. Jackie Harris. First down across midfield down to about the 44. 15-yard gain. Willie Clay on the stop.
Well, Jackie was due. That's his favorite target, I understand. He's a big play receiver for them. As you see Jackie down at the bottom of the screen, he just finds a hole in the zone, turns around and catches and pick up the first down. I think he got nicked up on that play. It's on the sidelines right now.
Harris passed a kidney stone on Wednesday. Didn't practice a couple of days, but obviously doing well. Dave Moore has checked in for him now. Erickson's going to throw on first down. Looks long. Nobody there. Horace Copeland, the nearest receiver, but it looks like somebody may have mixed up a pattern.
Although the pass was incomplete, Craig Erickson did a great job of play action faking. I think he learned from the best, Steve DeBerg, on that play. Sure fooled me. As we see here again, he does a great job of extending the ball and then hiding it. As you see Chris Pillman run up, then he has to turn around and run back to the defense area.
2nd down and 10. Ball still at the Lion 46. Eric Rhett. Maybe 3 or 4 yards. Several Lions in there. Forshea and Pritchett on the stop.
Eric Rhett, a great north and south runner, doesn't waste any time going east and west. He wants to take it upfield and get as much yardage as he can.
Jackie Harris banged up. Ty.J. Armstrong's coming on the field. Harris waved him off for a moment, but he doesn't have the last word on this one. Tampa Bay is 4 of 5 on third downs. They've got a 3rd and 6 right now. Just a little over 6 minutes remaining in the second. A 17-7 lead for the Buccaneers. Erickson in the shotgun. Fires complete. Courtney Hawkins may be short depending on where they spot it. Robert Massey on the stop.
Well, I think he has the first down, but I think there's a holding call that's going to nullify that.
Holding. Number 62 in the offense. 10 yards. Repeat, 3rd down.
That holding is on Ian Beckles. Anytime you see a flag in that particular area, it's either a holding or it's a roughing the passer. As you see Beckles here, second guy from the top, with his Hulk Hogan takedown. Actually, it wasn't a holding. I think he just fell backwards, and the officials think sometime when a guy is getting ran over, he's actually pulling the guy down. I think that was the case right there.
Erickson has to take another timeout, so they're out of timeouts here in the first half.
40-second timeout
On this 3rd and 16. I think it's time now. You've pondered enough about that trivia question. Longest run in Super Bowl history. And the answer, well, we'll first tell you that it happened right here. Number 32 of the Raiders, our own Marcus Allen. You remember this one pretty well? I'm sure you do.
Well, the only thing I remember about it is I outran Darryl Breen. I outran Darryl Breen. I outran Darryl Breen.
Wait, I thought he was the fastest man in the NFL.
That's why I said it 3 times. That was a great game for me. Had a wonderful time down here. This is one of the fastest tracks, best fields in the NFL.
Of course you'll say that. Good drainage, though, even though it heavy rains this morning. Field set up extremely well for that sort of thing. A lot of rain in Tampa recently, but we haven't seen many players slipping out there.
It's a good opportunity for Tampa to convert on 3rd and long, but if they don't, should make sure they don't throw an interception or create a fumble or something like that.
Turnovers hurt them last week. 3rd and 16 for Erickson. Under pressure. Steps up, fires, wobbly pass, incomplete. Intended for Charles Wilson. And they'll have to punt.
The defense won on that occasion right there. They just did an excellent job of coverage. He stepped up in the pocket and really didn't have anyone to throw to. He was covered well.
Lions have talked about they've got to put more pressure on the quarterback.
Well, they've yet to do that so far. They have the personnel to do it, but Tampa's doing a great job. Now, if the punter can just kick the ball inside the 10, this will be great for the Buccaneers.
Straczynski, beautiful high kick. Gray's going to let it bounce, and it just goes in. The veteran Gray with a smart play, but there's a flag on the play. 52-yard punt, no return. Jeff Brady is getting a lot of time with Hardy Nickerson out. Let's get the call.
It could be defensive holding. That may draw the ire of Coach Fonts.
Well, we know it's holding. We just don't know against who. Dale Hamer will let us know.
Well, it looks like the Detroit Lions offensive players are staying on the field, so maybe it's against Tampa.
(17-7). Tampa Bay leads. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the second.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding on the receiving team. That penalty is declined. Got a personal foul on the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Lions push back all the way to their 10. Fonts can't be happy with all the penalties, obviously.
Personal foul against number 39. No number on a hold.
Penalties will kill you. Bad special teams play will kill you. We were talking about field position earlier. They have 90 yards to go for a touchdown.
Van Malone on the personal foul. We didn't see exactly where it happened.
I'd much rather go 70 yards or 60 yards, but not 90.
Lions starting off 1st and 10. Sanders cuts back in, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. Sanders near midfield. He's got more to block him. And finally knocked out of bounds at about the 10. Charles Dimry catches up with him. A sensational run from Barry Sanders, 85 yards.
Well, when you have Barry Sanders in the backfield, 90 yards doesn't seem that bad. Barry, he breaks a tackle, divorce another tackle there, another tackle there. And if there isn't one, this is why there should be a 1-800 I've been victimized by Barry Sanders number. And I guarantee you, if you call it, the lines are always busy.
1st and goal at the 5. Derek Moore is now in the backfield. Sanders trying to catch his breath. Mitchell fires. Moore maybe went the wrong way. Incomplete.
That's a devastating block by Herman Moore.
Taking Martin Mayhew right out of the play. But then Moore isn't that satisfied with a 1 block. He keeps it up.
Barry's running without a shoe. He lost his shoe 20 yards back there.
Moore actually stopped 3 different players. 2nd and goal at the 5. Derek Moore, touchdown. Lions have scored again.
That's why it was so important early to go on that 4th down play and make it, because they've gotten confidence. Once again, I said when you got Barry Sanders in the backfield, a 17-point lead is not a great deal.
90-yard drive. You said it was tough going that way, but when you've got somebody like Sanders, it's a little easier.
That's right. A nice run capped off by Moore.
Hanson on for the extra point. 2 offenses that have struggled at times are putting a lot of points on the board. As it's now 17. Well, flag is down, so we'll wait and see.
Too many men on the field. On the defense, penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Point is good.
Lions fall behind 17-0. But Sam Weiss has seen his team now lose that at 17-14. Detroit on the comeback trail.
Oh, great job. Nice trap block there. And it's just a pure determination on Moore's part.
Here, of course, is what set it up. Way back at their own 10-yard line. Sanders erases that.
There's one missed tackle. There's another. There's another. He loses his shoe right there. I think that's the only reason he didn't store. He couldn't get the traction that he needed.
And again, Herman Moore, 3 different defenders who either blocked or had them slow down so Sanders could keep going. And the longest run in the history against Tampa Bay. Not surprising Mr. Sanders doing that. Some Tampa Bay records are falling this afternoon. We saw Vernon Turner return a punt for a touchdown. First time that's ever happened for the Buccaneers.
See, this is why on Monday, when they review the tapes of the game, that you hope there's an electrical blackout or the film room has been vandalized, because they're going to be critical about all these missed tackles. This could be the longest run in NFL history without a shoe. What do you think about that?
You know, Santana Dotson told us yesterday if he was coaching, if he was Wayne Fonts, he'd make sure Barry Sanders was dog-tired every Monday. And he's going to be tired after that.
Did you see that average? 9 carries, 129 yards.
On the kick, Vernon Turner drops it. Still has some room to go. Turner, an exciting return man, gets up to about the 31. Tracy Scroggins on the tackle. Turner's enjoying himself this afternoon. 1 touchdown, another nice return. Washington really having problems. Green Bay trying to make it 2 in a row. And boy, the Browns are to be reckoned with this year. It's nice to have a week off, isn't it?
I'm having a good time here with you.
You go right back to work. Next week, Chiefs play in San Diego against the surprising Chargers.
Well, we have to win that.
1st and 10, they have it at their own 30. Workman back in the game. Gets maybe 5.
I think Tampa Bay is going to go back to what they were doing earlier. Just run the ball between the tackles. Let their big linemen do the job.
Kelvin Pritchett on the stop there. Sam Weiss has really alternated his running backs. We've seen Workman, McDowell, and Rhett all get a lot of time. Rhett is back in now. Charles Wilson split out to the left. 2nd and 5. Just a little over 3.5 remaining in the second. Shags are thrown. Knocked out of bounds is Eric Rhett. Well, let's see what the call is. A lot of movement on the line.
That could be the 3rd penalty on Robert Porcher. Encroachment defense. But the coach is not going to be pleased by that. That is number 3.
Upside defense, number 91. Penalty decline. 1st down.
That is his 3rd. Porcher missed a lot of training camp with a knee problem. He's just getting back into the flow. An excellent pass rusher, but his timing obviously off today. So on the 1st down, it's declined 1st and 10 now at the 43. Eric Rhett spins but doesn't get away from Chris Spielman. And a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Spielman has been characterized as a throwback. They said on his day off, which are Tuesdays, that he walks around the stadium and smells the AstroTurf.
Wayne Fonts also told us that most of the throwback uniforms they're wearing this year are extremely ugly. He says Spielman looks good in them.
He's the one guy that likes them.
He belongs back in 1935. 2nd and 9. They gave him a yard on that. Ty J. Armstrong, the tight end, in motion. Erickson steps up, and it's deflected. Looked like Porcher got a hand on it. So he atones for some of the penalties.
As Erickson drops back, he gets some pressure from the outside. Pat Swilling was complaining of a little hole in there, almost got him by the leg. And Porcher sticks his hand up and deflects it.
You see, just under 2.5 to play in the second. A high-scoring game between two teams that have at times struggled offensively this year. Erickson's now 6 of 12, but he's been incomplete on his last 3. 3rd and 9. Steps up under pressure, complete. Horace Copeland, 1st down. As he gets down to the 36, Benny Blades stops him, but not after a 19-yard gain.
Erickson's showing a lot of poise. He's getting some pressure. The Lions are starting to pick up the pressure, but he steps up in the pocket and delivers a strike to Horace Copeland.
2-minute warning.
And he gets
2 minutes.
upfield.
Timeout.
So Copeland gives them the 1st down. The Buccaneers still in front. Buccaneers leading 17-14. 2-minute warning here in the 1st half. And coming up on the Dockers halftime, James and Terry will have all the scores and highlights. Plus, we'll hear from NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue on this week's owners meeting in Dallas. All coming up next on the Dockers halftime. Not surprising this one's close. Perhaps surprising with the way the game's unfolded. Buccaneers open up the 17-0 lead. Lions have stormed back.
I'm not surprised at all. The Buccaneers have played the Lions well over the last years. I expect a game like this.
Wayne Fonts, in fact, has a losing record against Tampa Bay. He's 5 and 6. Erickson to Eric Rhett. And he's thrown for a loss. Gang tackle. Spielman in there along with Mike Johnson. And the Buccaneer offense has sputtered a little bit after the strong start. They're struggling a little bit right now.
Well, I think Eric Redd missed a read on that particular play. That's the reason why they lost those yards.
3-yard loss. Clock will continue to run. Buccaneers out of timeouts here in the first half. 2nd and 13. They have it at the Lions 40. Which looks like calling an audible here. Armstrong in motion. Quick throw. Incomplete. Big rush intended for Hawkins. But the Lions starting to put some pressure on. Buccaneer fans are booing despite this team still in the lead. Michael Johnson, good pressure.
I talked to Sam Weiss yesterday, and he talked about the home field advantage here. And he said he doesn't have one. And what they feel they need to do is obviously win some games so the fans can come back and support them and stuff. But when you go to a stadium and your fans cheer for you, make that loud noise, it makes it tough on the opponent. And it's not happening here.
Between 30 and 40,000 on hand. This place holds 76. They obviously have not been drawing well. He called a timeout, but they don't have any remaining. Sam Weiss says keep it going. That's what they're going to do. So they call the timeout without having any left. Well, I know in the NBA you call a timeout without any left. It's a technical foul.
Delay game. Offense. 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
So they call a delay of game in the NFL. Push them back even further.
Well, this is where Scott Erickson said they have to start concentrating this area. They have to focus and concentrate. Apparently they lost track of the clock and they couldn't get the play off.
You don't see that very often.
No, it happens a little more than you think it does.
Delay of game.
Okay.
The call. Delay of game. Clock start.
So a 3rd and 18 coming up. Just a little over a minute remaining here in the first half. Tampa Bay still leading 17-14. They were charged up earlier by an 80-yard punt return, Vernon Turner. The offense sputtering a bit right now. Quick handoff to Rhett. Cuts inside. Still moving. Gets back maybe to the original line of scrimmage, but Greg Jeffrey stops him. And 4th down coming up. And the boos continue.
Well, I think Sam wanted to play that close to the vest. Didn't want to put any pressure on the quarterback to throw the ball upfield and perhaps get an interception or something like that. And so he handed it off, trying to catch him off guard on a little trap play.
Fans can be tough to please, although one
Timeout.
former coach,
Detroit.
as we have a
Second
timeout, the Lions are going to take it.
Timeout. 40 seconds.
One former coach says the typical fan is somebody that comes to the game, he'll second guess every move by the coach, criticize every play by the players, say the officials are wrong, then he goes out to the parking lot and he can't find his car. Baseball season may be over, but the new Fox comedy Hardball is just warming up. See why the Pioneers are the most outrageous team ever to hit the major leagues. Catch an all-new episode of Hardball tonight, right after The Simpsons. Jackie Harris has a bruised left knee, and right now they're not sure if he'll return. He was limping earlier. He's had a rough week again with those kidney stones. And now the knee. That'd be a big blow to the Buccaneers. Harris, their leading receiver this year. A 55-yard attempt for Houston. Way wide. And the Buccaneers come up empty on this drive. And the Lions will have excellent field position now, still with 50 seconds remaining, because the new rule this year, the kick now goes back to the point of kick and not the line of scrimmage.
And there's 50 seconds left to go in the second quarter, and they have ample time to go down and put some points on the board. Well, a gutsy decision.
Only one timeout remaining for Detroit. Buccaneers jumped out 17-0. The Lions coming back with a strong second quarter. Ball placed at the 46. Mitchell's going to throw. Intended for Perryman, but far too high. Thomas Everett on the coverage. Well, we saw Husted miss the 55-yarder. There hasn't been a kicker in the NFL this year to kick one from more than 50 yards.
It was questionable because of the wind, and especially if he missed the kick, it goes back to the point of the kick, and it left them in great field position. Once again, they could go down. They got ample time to go down and score some points. Why would you want to go down and allow them to score?
Mitchell's going to throw again under pressure to Sanders. Sanders can't get away that time. Charles Dimry brings him down. So at this point in the game, with the Lions having a little momentum coming back, that could be a mistake, especially if Detroit makes a move.
Well, so far the defense is playing extremely well. That's one of the vintage plays they like to run to Barry Sanders, the quick screen, and they snipped it out, stuffed it.
Detroit, number 3.
So Lions now out of timeouts. You see Floyd Peters, the Buccaneers defensive coordinator. One thing though, Husted, he has kicked a 49-yarder this year, and he has the longest field goal in Tampa Bay history at 57. So he does have certainly the leg to kick it that far. So Mitchell's numbers not all that spectacular.
As we look at Scott Mitchell right here, he's been struggling. He said they have to come in and play better. He has to throw the ball better, and so far he's overthrown quite a few receivers.
How tough is that? He comes in a team that's established, has a lot of good players. He's the new man. He's the one that has a lot of pressure, signs the free agent contract. How long does it take for a quarterback to get accustomed to his new team?
I think he should just settle down and stay within himself and stop trying to do too much. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. I don't know.
3rd and 13. Mitchell looks downfield, fires complete at about the 41. Brett Perryman has it. They're going to use the hurry-up offense. Mitchell's going to try and throw it down. 17-yard gain on that play. Clock winding down here, and they stop it with 4.
Incomplete pass.
So they'll either have one more shot to throw it downfield. Wayne Fox furious with the officials. Perhaps with them spotting the ball a little slower than what he wanted.
Maybe he's complaining about the food at the hotel or something. I don't know. It doesn't leave them with much other than a big bend or a Hail Mary, maybe.
He's ready to go right away. Yeah, obviously they're upset. They felt it should have been placed.
Yeah, they should have spotted the ball a lot faster. That's what he's complaining about. And that's exactly what he's doing. They got a big bend over here.
Going to throw the Hail Mary. Mitchell fires it. Herman Moore came back, almost had a shot at it, but Mitchell's pass just a little bit short. An exciting first half. A lot of points on the board. At the end of the first 2 quarters, the score: Tampa Bay 17, Detroit 14. Stay tuned for Dockers halftime on Fox. NFL Sunday continues.
And play hard and respond to the challenge that the Detroit Lions have given them.
And considering the way the first quarter started for the Buccaneers, they were dominating, especially time of possession. Lions fortunate to be down just 17-14.
As I said earlier, though, anytime you get Barry Sanders in the backfield, a 17-point lead doesn't seem too large.
No celebrating early with that guy. Michael Husted will kick it off. Mel Gray, Derek Moore back to receive. Rain has stayed away thus far. Again, it rained quite a bit here this morning, and there's a threat of it. A little extra wind at Tampa Stadium. Charles Dimry is going to come over and hold it for Husted.
Now, what do you think about Mel Gray returning one?
Gray's got a few in his career, 2 for touchdowns on kickoffs, 3 on punts. And again, he's one that helped tutor Mr. Turner last year in Detroit.
He certainly does have the ability, so.
And he has returned more kickoffs than anyone in the history of the NFL. Houston right down to Gray at his own 3. Cuts inside. And a fine return from Mel Gray gets it all the way up to about the 34, 32-yard return. Charles Dimry on the stop.
Detroit must pick up where they left off. They had a couple of great drives there in the second half, and it would be smart and be great for them if they could continue.
Good field position to start for Scott Mitchell, who struggled a bit in the first half. But again, they're only down 17-14. Good field position. That's the name of the game this year in the NFL with the changing and the kickoffs. Brett Perryman goes in motion. Barry Sanders cuts inside. Beautiful move. And gets maybe 7 or 8. Lonnie Martz finally stops him.
What a great move by Barry Sanders. And then after that, what a great play by Lonnie Martz. Because if he does not pull down Barry from the backside, he's gone. It's all over with.
Mitchell says one thing with Sanders, he's actually had trouble handing off the ball to him, because he says Sanders looks down the field. He never looks at the ball. He says he's like a chess player.
Well, backs are taught to look downfield, but so many of them look at the quarterback giving them the ball, and then they look at the hole.
Mitchell's going to throw. Incomplete. Intended for Aubrey Matthews. Dimry on the coverage.
Scott Mitchell does not look comfortable back there. His feet are moving, and I think he's looking at one target. He must scan the entire field in order to get a completion.
He's 4 of 13 now. And he's got a 3rd and 2 right now. Lions have it at their own 42.
Where do you think the ball's going to go?
2 tight ends. Sanders gets it right behind the line of scrimmage. Demetrius DeBose, the man taking the place of Hardy Nickerson with the big stop.
Great anticipation by DeBose. I think he just shot the gap, and there was nobody there to block him. I think they were anticipating that play.
Second year out of Notre Dame, DeBose. Of course, as we mentioned, Nickerson out 4 to 6 weeks with that ankle injury suffered last week. Turner is back. Greg Montgomery to punt. A low kick from Montgomery. And it goes out of bounds. Buccaneers will take control at their own 24-yard line. 38-yard punt and no return. Buccaneers with that 17-14 lead. Crowd into it early, but the Tampa Bay offense has struggled in the second quarter.
Yeah, it's important for them to come out and establish themselves once again. They got the personnel. They've been rotating backs. They should be fresh. The wide receivers have, I think, done a good job so far. Craig Erickson has got to just settle down and make the proper throws.
Erickson now in his 3rd year out of Miami. Played well last year as the starter and won the job in camp. Trent Dilfer, the prize rookie, the 1st-round draft pick, he says he's learned more from Erickson than anyone in his brief NFL career. I'll tell you a little something about Erickson. Here's the guy who wants his job, and he's teaching him as much as he can.
Well, he's a class guy.
Eric Rett and Anthony McDowell in the backfield. Courtney Hawkins split out to the left. 1st and 10 now for Tampa Bay. They lead 17-14. Erickson fires. Eric Rett makes a nice move and gains maybe another couple of yards, perhaps 5 yards total. Ryan McNeil brings him down.
Did a nice job of evading a tackle on Roderick Thomas. Just sidestepped him and actually got yards when there weren't any there.
Rett not only the all-time leading rusher at Florida, but they like what he does out of the backfield as well.
Well, they think he's a complete back. He can do it all. Once again, he just came into camp a little late. I think they had penciled him in as a starter, and I think the more he plays, the better he gets.
2nd and 5, Armstrong in motion. And Red brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Excellent play from Kelvin Pritchett. That's the kind of penetration that Wayne Fonts thinks he can get from the likes of Pritchett and Pouchet. It just hasn't been there on a consistent basis.
Well, you win with great defense, and it was just a determined play on his part right there. But you win with great defense, and they have to make those plays throughout the game, just not here and there.
An active day for Kelvin Pritchett, in on 7 tackles already. 3rd and 7 from their own 27. Erickson to throw. Hesitates. Dave Moore, the tight end, with a catch, good for the first down up to the 39. 13-yard gain. Willie Clay in on the stop.
Greg does a great job of just hanging in there, because there's a lot of guys around him. And he waits, and he waits. And he hits Dave Moore on a little hook up in the zone area again. Great, clean passing lane right there.
Moore, the 3rd tight end. Jackie Harris has not returned, banged up his knee in the first half. Erickson to Eric Rett. Perhaps a yard on that first down play. Chris Spielman comes in on the stop.
Offside, number 91 of the defense. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
He's not going to like looking at the films on Monday.
I thought he was so upset. I thought he was taking himself out the game for doing that. He started walking towards the sidelines there, and then he turned around and
that's the 4th time he's caught. All right, tell me, what's he going to...
That could be, as a matter of fact, he is going out of the game. Maybe the coach has called for him.
How much flack is he going to get in the film room on Monday?
Forget about the film room. Wait till he gets to the sidelines.
1st and 5 off the penalty. Armstrong in motion. Erickson looks. Good pressure. Flag is down as Erickson is sacked. Lions haven't come up with a lot of sacks. At that time, Johnson and Swillig close in on him.
Well, the credit should go to Prodigy Comics on that play. He really forced it up the middle. I think they held him.
Holding, number 78 of the offense. Penalties declined. 2nd down.
And holding on Tim Irwin. That doesn't happen very often. This is what they needed to do. As you see, Broderick Thomas coming up the middle. It's actually not a bad holding. If there's ever a good holding, it's actually not a bad one, because anytime you can take the hit off the quarterback, it's important.
7-yard loss. That's the first sack this afternoon by either team. So a 2nd and 12 for Erickson and the Buccaneers. He's got some time, fires downfield, almost picked off. Benny Blades right there, but couldn't hang on. Certainly unhappy with himself.
That's the situations I think Tampa want to avoid. 2nd long, 3rd and long, because they're afraid of situations that may happen. A turnover, an interception. They should try to avoid those at all costs. That's why 2nd down is so important, 1st down so important, and get as much as you can so you can be in 3rd and short.
3 wide receivers in now on this 3rd and 12. Willie Green checks in. He split out to the left. Erickson throwing. He's hit. The completion, but just short of the first down. Charles Wilson makes the catch, but they'll be about a yard short. Crowd chanting go. And here come the boos for Dan Straczynski. No offense to Dan, they're not booing him, they're booing the call.
Well, I think it's a good call, though. I think it's a good call on Sam's part. He's got plenty of time. No need to go for it on 4th down. If you end up missing it, once again, they're in perfect field goal position, and you give them a ton of momentum.
And that's what the Lions have had ever since trailing 17-0. Now 17-14. Tampa Bay still in the lead. Straczynski, high kick. Bray lets it bounce again, and it goes out of bounds. Copeland almost saved it. Nope. 51-yard punt, no return, and they'll bring it back up to the 20. Tampa Bay hanging on, a slim lead.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by the all-new 1995 Eclipse from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles. By the United States Marine Corps, you've got to be tough to play, you've got to be smart to win. And by McDonald's, the official restaurant of the National Football League.
It's turned into a pretty nice day in Tampa after all the rain early on. And of course the Buccaneers pleased with the score right now, 17-14 lead early in the third quarter, but the Lions certainly still with the momentum, Marcus Allen.
They're playing well at this point.
Mitchell will take it. They have it at their own 20. Jekyll and Hyde in the 2 quarters in the first half for Detroit. Flags thrown on the play. Sanders gets up to about the 26. Tony Stargell in on the stop.
Looks like we have some defensive encroachment. That seems to be the penalty of the day.
Offside. Number 73 of the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah,
Still
Brad
first down.
Culpepper on that play.
You do pretty good from terms of officials. All right, your next bye week, that's what you're going to do. Broadcast one game.
The more you can
officiate
do,
the next.
the more you can do, they say.
You're always versatile.
Wayne Fonts in his 6th full year as head coach of the Lions, hoping Scott Mitchell can be the man to bring him to the Super Bowl. 1st and 5. Barry Sanders has some room. Flag is thrown. He gets up to a 36. But again, another penalty. 12-yard gain. We'll see if it's negated. Yep, holding.
It's so unfortunate, too, because Barry Sanders, I don't care what surface he plays on,
Number 67
turf,
of the offense. 10 yards.
grass,
Still first down.
he is phenomenal.
Doug Waddell on the hold. That's why Santana Dotson, number 71, didn't have a shot. Official's right there.
It appeared that he really didn't have to grab him because he was out of the play already.
1st and 15. Lions penalized again. Sanders cuts through, has some room again, gets up to the 23. Tony Stargell makes another stop. Got an 8-yard gain. There's a long-time NFL man, Floyd Peters, Sam Weiss's defensive coordinator. He's had some great defenses with a lot of different teams over the years.
He certainly has. What a personality, though. What a picture. Yeah. What a picture as well.
I tell you, though, you look at him now, he looks like he could put the pads on and still play.
I think he'd like to at this point.
2nd and 7. Sanders again has some room outside. He gets up to about the 33. Tony Stargell makes the stop, but 1st down Lions.
At the rate things are going, this looks like it's going to be a 200-yard day for Barry Sanders if he keeps this up. He's 13 for 150. I had that average one time, and then I woke up.
1st and 10. Just under 7.5 remaining in the 3rd. Lions have battled back from a 17-0 deficit. Mitchell throws incomplete. Good coverage. Intended for Herman Moore.
Mitchell just looks uncomfortable back there. Seems like he's not at home yet. And he's still moving his feet. He's not really dropped back and planted and throwing in good timing. So, and that's why a lot of his passes have gone incomplete. He said himself that he has to play better.
Absolutely not satisfied. He's now just connected on 2 of his last 9. Got a 2nd and 10 here. Lions at their own 33. More flags. Plenty of movement on the offensive line. Dave Lutz, the culprit.
Ball start prior to the snap, number 73. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
We've seen some extra, or quite a bit of those throughout the day. Lutz, that's his first. Lutz, a 12th year in the NFL, spent 10 years with the Chiefs. This is his 2nd year with the Lions.
They just have to focus when it gets down in that situation. Lack of concentration.
They'll get pushed back again, 2nd and 15. A sloppy start to the 3rd quarter. Mitchell looks downfield. Complete. Nope, Perriman dropped it. Had it and dropped it. Charles Dimry in on the coverage along with Barney Bussey.
An excellent play that Dimry. It appeared he had the reception, but he got his arm in there and took it out. Great job. This is one of the few good passes Scott Mitchell was thrown. And that's just an excellent play by Dimry.
Wayne Font says, you know, Mitchell's stats aren't spectacular, but he's had some drops. Although that's certainly, when looking at it, you can't say a drop, just a terrific defensive play. But he feels he's played better than what his stats say. Third and 15. Mitchell's going to throw again. Intended for Ron Hall. A wobbly pass. Didn't appear that anybody touched it, but a terrible throw.
Well, not only wobbly, it was 3rd and 15, and that was a 2-yard route. So you got to question his thinking on that play.
Lloyd Peters smiles with that defensive effort. So Greg Montgomery back down again. Vernon Turner will receive.
The game has gotten a little sloppy now. Quite a few penalties.
Montgomery, who's led the NFL in punting the last 2 years, has it blocked. Tampa Bay picks it up and falls down on it. Huge turnover for the Buccaneers as they come up with a football. Roderick Breen makes a big play, but there's a flag on the play.
Personal foul, number 9 on the kicking team, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Montgomery called for the personal foul, so the Buccaneers in prime position.
Special teams once again plays a big factor in this game. Roger Green comes in and bursts up the middle.
Number 70.
And blocks it on the left-hand side of your screen. He runs in untouched.
And the Buccaneers do a good job of not trying to advance it, just to make sure they secure it. Jeff Brady picks up the loose ball.
Did a great job. He knew the block point, got his hands up. Excellent job there.
1st and goal. They spot the ball at the 3. Straight up the middle, Mazio Royster, and he's just a bit short. That's the 1st turnover of the game.
This is where the game gets tough down here. You got to be physical. It's man on man. No fair dodging. And may the best guy win.
Eric Rett has checked in along with Anthony McDowell. 2nd and goal, ball now at the 1. 2 tight ends. Dave Moore in motion. Straight up. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Eric Rett with the score, and the Buccaneers add to their lead. There's a flag on the play, however.
There is no flag on the play. Number 70 reported as an eligible receiver.
Thank you for clearing that up. So the touchdown holds.
That was just pure determination on Eric Rett's part. I mean, he got stood up at his line of scrimmage, but he wanted it more than the defender wanted to stop him.
The rookie's first NFL touchdown.
Looked like he was stopped. He just overpowered Broderick Thomas on that play.
Houston on for the extra point.
The first one in the NFL has got to feel pretty good.
Right here it does. I didn't keep my ball. I wish I did, though.
Houston knocks it through. Tampa Bay back up by 10. Just over 6 minutes remaining, third quarter. The Buccaneers in control. Buccaneers offense, or special teams, we should say. 14 of the 24 points they're responsible for. Gray's going to bring it out. Gets hit a couple of times, still on his feet. Nice return up to the 24. It looked like he had a lot of room. Mike Magruder on the stop. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their last two games prior to this afternoon scored a combined 10 points. 3 against the Packers, 7 against the Saints. They've got 24 already here in the third quarter. But credit a lot of that, again, to the special teams. First and 10. Lions start at their own 23. Rodney Holman in motion. Mitchell will throw again. Down the sideline. Holman comes back but can't get it. Another incompletion. Barney Bussey on the coverage.
We talked about it at the top of the telecast that Scott Mitchell had mentioned that it can't be all Barry Sanders. Other players are going to have to step up and make some plays, and they've yet to do so. It's been all Barry Sanders.
Mitchell's last 7 passes have been incomplete. Just to back up, our statistician Chuck Gardner points out the offense for Detroit. Sanders with 150 yards rushing, the rest of the offense 57 yards. Second and 10. Little light rain now falling at Tampa Stadium. Sanders is gang tackled. Brad Culpepper, the main man. Right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Michael, New England is finally on the scoreboard. It comes late in the third quarter as Drew Bledsoe drops back, fires his 10th touchdown pass of the season, this one to Vincent Brisby, and New England pulls within 3 of Green Bay, 10-7. 12 seconds left in the third. Back to Mike.
Just over 5 minutes remaining, third quarter. Scott Mitchell still struggling throwing the ball. Dave Craig is the backup. But Wayne Fonts has said all along, Mitchell is his man. Flag thrown on the play. Pass complete. Herman Moore up to the 37, but again, there's flags down. 18-yard completion. Martin Mayhew on the stop.
How do you spell relief? The completed pass to Herman Moore for
Offside,
first down.
number 71 of the defense. Penalties declined. First down.
They needed that one.
Herman Moore is at the bottom of your screen, at the screen, and he just runs a hook. Enough for the first down. Mayhew has to respect his speed on that because he can't run by you.
So the Lions get the first down. Mitchell fakes, throws the other way. Harriman, the intended receiver, but he can't catch up to it. Charles Dimry on the coverage.
That play was not all Scott Mitchell on there. That some pressure by Brad Culpepper that knocked him off balance, had his leg, and as we see it right here, he's looking left, and here comes Culpepper, and he tried to throw it on one leg and couldn't do so.
Good work from our crew. Pete Macheska, our producer. Ned Tate, our director, and the entire crew doing a terrific job. Sanders has it. Knocked out behind the line of scrimmage and brought down. Barney Bussey, the initial hit to slow him down.
Penetration is the way to stop Barry Sanders. They come in and do a great job. Tampa Bay looks just a little fresher at this point, a little more excited, a lot more enthusiasm.
2-yard loss, so a 3rd and 12 coming up. Ball's now back at the Lions, their own 35. 24-14, Tampa Bay in front. Mitchell looks under pressure and brought down. Sacked by Carl Wilson. And 4th down coming up for the Lions.
Tampa Bay did an excellent job of showing blitz and then backing out and confusing Scott Mitchell. They had ample time. They just did a wonderful job of coverage downfield. He looks. He should have dumped it off to Barry Sanders, because when he gets the ball, anything can happen, but he didn't do so.
So Montgomery, who had his last punt blocked, he's back out there. Vernon Turner to receive. Turner fields it at his own 28. Still on his feet and knocked down at about the 33-yard line. Derek Moore in on the stop. 42-yard punt, 5-yard return. Flag is thrown on the play. It's thrown late in the play.
I think it may be a personal foul on Vernon Turner. He didn't like what happened to him at the bottom of the pile. He got up and shoved one of the defenders.
Tracy Hayward, by the way, is also down for the Lions.
They have an unsportsmanlike foul. Number 31 on the receiving team. 15 yards. First down. Timeout.
Just over 3 minutes remaining. 3rd quarter. Buccaneers still in front. Buccaneers still lead it late in the 3rd quarter here at Tampa Stadium. Mike Breen along with Marcus Allen. This game summary sponsored by Budweiser. Special teams the key for the Buccaneers. Vernon Turner, the first punt return for touchdown in Tampa Bay history. They also blocked the punt that led to a touchdown. As for the Lions, Barry Sanders, that includes an 85-yard run, longest of his career, that set up the score. Craig Erickson and the Buccaneers now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Turner carries from the backfield, scoots inside, and maybe gets about 5 yards. Following today's game, some of you will see the second half of Fox's doubleheader when Warren Moon and the Vikings travel to Arizona to take on Buddy Ryan and the Cardinals, or the Philadelphia Eagles and San Francisco 49ers. Catch all the action right here on Fox Sports. Cowboys just pouring it on as the Patriots have taken a lead. Eric wrecked this lone setback on a 2nd and call it 4. Dave Moore goes in motion. Wright breaks loose, gets the first down and more up to the 35-yard line. Robert Porcher on the stop.
It's a great job by the offensive line. They come off and get a wonderful push-up in the middle. And Red just takes it up and get as much as he can. And they're doing what they have to do at this point. They're controlling the ball, keeping Sanders on the bench.
Red's got 51 yards. 1st and 10. Armstrong in motion. Again, the call for the rookie. And maybe gets a couple with a flag thrown on the play. Let's get a lot of action. Sam Weiss said that he's impressed with him. He looks pretty good, Marcus.
Well, he can do it all. He can run. He has speed. He has moves. He can catch the ball. He's a tough guy on top of that.
12 men on the field on the defense. 5 yards. Still first down.
And he's probably getting more and more comfortable as the game goes on and the more he's into the offense.
What's the toughest adjustment? You go from being a successful college running back to the NFL, like Red,
What was the biggest surprise to you going to the NFL?
Well, for him, he said that the biggest surprise was the amount of plays that he had to learn. Just when he learned one play, they installed about 20 others. So he really didn't get a chance to learn the first one that well.
First down and 5. He gets the call again. Maybe a yard. Chris Spielman in on the tackle. There's some extracurricular activity going on out there. Ty.J. Armstrong and Pat Swilling tangled.
This could be a very subtle changing of the guards. Eric Red has been in there quite a bit. Scored the touchdown. I don't think Vince Workman's hurt or anything. But he's doing all the playing at this point. They want to give him the ball and have him take over the game.
Workman started, as you said, but we have not seen much of him. Second-round pick is Rhett, so obviously they feel he could be a big part of the future. Workman has been the main guy, but not this afternoon. 2nd and 3. Again, the call to Eric Rhett. Cuts inside. Flags are thrown. He's close to the first down, but another penalty.
Appears to be holding from that area. He did a nice job cutback. He had the first down. Unfortunately, I think there's penalties against Tampa.
Spielman made the stop again. Neither Sam Weiss or Wayne Fonts can be happy with all the penalties this afternoon.
Holding, number 86 of the offense. 10 yards. Repeat, second down.
Ty.J. Armstrong hold.
He's probably still upset over that last play when he got into it, Swilling.
Yeah, he has a hold of Pat Swilling right there. A lot of people have held Pat Swilling today.
Third quarter winding down. It was 17-14 at halftime. Tampa Bay led. And they scored the touchdown here in the third off that block punt. Scoring a couple plays later. So now they'll let the clock wind down. And that's the end of the third quarter.
2-minute timeout.
With the score, Tampa Bay 24, Detroit 14. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local Fox station. (24-14), Tampa Bay in front as we start the third. His knee in the first half and obviously will not return. Certainly not what Sam Weiss wants to hear. They've already had enough with the injury bug here in Tampa Bay. 2nd and 13 coming up. Rhett the lone setback. Gets the call again, finds a hole, and maybe 3-4 yards. Right now, let's return to James Brown in the Hollywood studio.
Hey, Michael, Bledsoe to Frisbee worked once. Why not do it again? Bledsoe, nice touch pass, 37-yarder to Frisbee, and New England has moved in front of Green Bay 14-10, under 12 to play in the fourth. Let's go back to Tampa Bay. Mike Breen, Marcus Allen.
See the likes of Drew Bledsoe and Rick Meyer. Coach is not afraid to go with rookie quarterbacks. Sam Weiss played Trent Dilfer last week, but it's been all Craig Erickson so far this afternoon. 3rd and 7. Flags and whistles, and we'll stop it again.
Well, when you're winning, there's no need to make a change.
Prior to the snap, number 76, 5 yards, still third down.
Obviously, we all know that Dilfer's a talent, and he's going to be the quarterback of the future. But with the success they're having right now, I think he's going to spend some time right there.
He's a 6th pick overall in this year's draft out of Fresno State. They're paying a lot of money.
Let me tell you what this guy played golf in high school. He's a great basketball player, and he's a single-digit golfer. Could you believe that?
The handicap's like 1.9, he told us.
What's 5 pounds off an Elvis behind? 1.9. What does it have to do with anything? Oh, Rhett dropped the pass across the middle. He had room to run, and that's a rarity because he does have very, very good hands.
Opportunity was there, but Rhett couldn't hang on, so punting situation coming up. Opening minutes of the fourth quarter, Tampa Bay still in front. They've led throughout, jumped out to a 17-0 lead as Straczynski has punted the ball well this afternoon. Mel Gray is back. Short kick this time. It's a good bounce for the Buccaneers. And the Lions will take over at about their own 27. 40-yard punt. No return. Still plenty of time here in the fourth for the Lions to mount a comeback. Fox. Lions have the ball at their own 27. First and 10. They trail 24-14 early in the fourth quarter. After a strong second quarter, Lions struggle in the third, and more flags here.
Both thirds prior to the snap, number 66 for the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
Sean Bowen's 11th penalty for the Lions today.
They can't afford that. They're just putting themselves deeper and deeper into a hole. There's 13:39 to go in the game, and they need to score as quickly as possible. So they can't afford any more mistakes.
Their second half drives have been 3 plays and a punt, 5 plays and a block punt, 4 plays and a punt. No movement of the football. They've got first and 15 here. Mitchell complete to Perriman. Maybe a couple of yards. And once again, let's go to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Michael. Well, Heath Schuler, the Washington Redskins, finally can say he's got his first touchdown as a pro as he finds Frank Wycheck, the H-back out of the University of Maryland, and the Skins finally on the board. 34-7, that game in the fourth. Let's go back to Tampa Bay. Mike and Marcus.
Thank you, James. Tough start for Heath Schuler playing against that team. Sanders gets it and thrown for a loss. Brad Culpepper on the stop.
Tampa Bay's defense has risen to the occasion because after that 85-yard run, Barry's been going backwards.
But again, we saw in the first half, and you made note of this, you'll think he'll have a 1-yard run of 4, -2. You'll think you're doing a good job, and then all of a sudden, bang, there he goes.
Just look out.
He's only had 9 yards on his last 4 carries. 3rd and 12. Mitchell to throw. Has time, gets Sanders out of the backfield, cuts a couple of times, still on his feet. Tries to get around, and Sanders appears to have the first down. Charles Dimry finally brought him down. 13-yard gain.
That was simply breathtaking. But then again, it's been Barry Sanders all game. Other players are going to have to step up. You see what he does here. Just a little dump pass over the middle. Even though he's 10 yards short of the first down, he shakes one guy, shakes another, just outruns them. I mean, this guy is so fast, his shadow can't even keep up with him. Unfortunately, the sun's not out, so we can't. I can't prove that point.
He's also much better than people think catching the football as he gives him the first down. This time he runs it. Culpepper right there to greet him.
Culpepper doing a great job. He's been characterized as a throwback as well. A guy that you just love to have in there. Wants to play every down, plays on special teams. He does it all.
Floyd Peters says he reminds him, same attitude as Steve McMichael. 2nd and 10. Mitchell under pressure. A host of Buccaneers in on the sack. Eric Curry, the lead man. Chidi Ahanatu as well.
Take your pick. They're all in there. The Buccaneers have come to play today.
But there is a flag.
Offside. Defense, number 75, lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
Another penalty against the Lions. Check that against the Buccaneers. We're starting to catch up with the Lions. Both teams have been penalized frequently. So forget about the sack.
Eric Curry feels terrible right now. Jumped offside. He just had a sack, made a big play, put him in terrible position, and it was all nullified because of the penalty.
Instead, they have a 2nd and 5 at their own 43. Mitchell's pass deflected. Carl Wilson looks like he got a hand on it. Or Demetrius DeBose.
He's done a pretty good job today filling in for All-Pro Hardy Nicholson. Those are some tough shoes to fill, and he's done pretty well. But Carl Wilson stuck his hand up and made that play.
So Wilson.
But DeBose has been a factor today. He's played pretty well.
Wilson as well played well too. Got a sack on the deflection. 3rd down and 5. Mitchell to pass again. Has plenty of time. Complete to Perriman. And they've got another 1st down. Tony Stargell makes the stop after the 12-yard gain.
That was a big reception. Great players make great plays when they have to, and that was a nice job by Perriman.
Brett Perriman, his 7th year out of Miami. Wayne Font says he's the best receiver on the team after he catches the football. He's got 3 catches today. Sanders cuts in several times and gains a few on the play. One thing about Sanders is you'll never see any kind of demonstrative celebration, any kind of strutting. He just does his job, drops the ball, or hands it to the official.
What he does takes a tremendous amount of energy. He exerts himself in every run. And then again, you look at his face, he seems like he's bored with it all.
Expressionless usually when he runs. Got a 2nd and 6 now for the Lions. Mitchell pumps, tries to get away, throws it away. I think they're going to call intentional grounding. Lonnie Martz chased him out of the pocket. Eric Curry brought him down.
This does not look like the Tampa Bay team that everybody's talking about, the losing team. These guys have come to play. They believe in themselves, and they've shown it today.
So they call an incomplete pass on the play. Crowd does not like to call Martz. Good play.
The ball wants to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it did.
Hear the chorus of boos, and Corey doing a little bit of dancing there.
The officials,
I don't know what that's called.
3rd down and 6. Lions get a break there. Perriman goes in motion. Mitchell fires. Complete. Perriman has it. Steps out of bounds. He's got the 1st down. Charles Dimry knocks him out. 12-yard gain.
Someone on the Tampa Bay sidelines, it may have been Coach Weiss, was trying to call a timeout. Apparently, someone didn't see him, or no one saw him, and they completed the pass, and now we have a penalty as well.
So another flag thrown late.
12 men on defense. Penalty decline.
That's why he was trying to call timeout.
Well, Floyd Peters said he wanted to use 12 guys to stop Sanders. He just got caught, that's all.
Well, he didn't want to get caught, yeah, but he had mentioned that earlier. That's what he felt he had to do.
So another 1st down for the Lions. They trail by 10. Still plenty of time here in the 4th. Rodney Holman in motion. Barry Sanders. The reverse to Perriman. Perriman's got some room and blockers. And gets cut down. Not before he gets down to the 17, and another 1st down, a 13-yard gain. Thomas Everett on the stop.
See, here hands the ball to Sanders, who comes around the Perriman, and he had a caravan of blockers out in front of him. He decided to go inside and maybe should have stayed outside.
It's the 2nd time they've let him run the ball. Excellent speed from Perriman. First and 10, ball now at the 16. Lions on the move, down by 10. Mitchell's going to throw again, under pressure. Incomplete. Intended for Johnny Morton. Everett on the coverage.
Johnny Morton, the first-round draft choice out of USC. They have high expectations for him, a lot of promise. He was slowed by a hamstring injury in camp earlier, but he's going to do fine, they say.
Tough enough as a rookie without falling behind with any kind of injuries in your first training camp. Second and 10 now. 12th play of the drive. Lions started back at their own 27. Sanders gets the call. And it's brought down. Tony Starger. Good pursuit that time. And very little gain.
Yeah, on some of these plays, they feel like the Buccaneers have been in the huddle. They're just right there when he gets the ball.
Vernon Turner of the Buccaneers, who of course returned the punt for a touchdown. He played Barry Sanders this week. He played the role of Barry Sanders in the practice for Tampa Bay.
All due respect to Vernon Turner, nobody can play Barry Sanders.
Although they said he showed some nice moves in doing his Sanders impression.
You show nice moves.
3rd and 7. Mitchell's going to throw. Under pressure again. Gets away. Complete to Perryman. But he's going to be brought down short of the first down. Lonnie Martz in there on the tackle, along with Martin Mayhew. Big 4th down coming up.
It is a big 4th down coming up. I guess he's going to go for the field goal. He feels that they have ample time to score. The defense stops him. They can come back and put 7 on the board.
Down by 10 with 6:47 and counting. So Jason Hansen will come on. This is a 26-yarder.
Could we have a fake field goal here?
Hansen's 5 of 10 this year. And he missed it. A 26-yard field goal attempt just wide. Tough break for Wayne Fonts and the Lions, who still trail by 10.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Aptiva. It's the newest multimedia PC from IBM. By Aflac, ensuring over 38 million people worldwide. And by the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be.
Detroit Lions go 70 yards, hold the ball for over 7 minutes, and come away empty. A short miss for Jason Hansen, who prior to that field goal attempt was 44 for 44 inside the 42-yard line. They're gimmies for him.
That was a disheartening miss. The players had the ball for quite some time, the offense, and they drove downfield. Didn't get anything out of it. That's pretty disappointing.
Buccaneers take over at their own 20. Eric Rhett gets a couple of yards as the rain starting to fall here in Tampa. Tracy Scroggins, who injured himself earlier back in the game, makes the stop.
Well, this is the easy part for the defense. They know that they're going to run the ball to try to run out the clock, so they're going to try to probably get up there and stop all the gaps and hopefully force a turnover or just get them to go 3 and out.
Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts remaining as we just get under the 6-minute mark. Second and 8. Movement on the offensive line. Tim Irwin, the guilty party.
Full start. Prior to the snap, number 78, 5 yards. Still second down.
.21 total penalties. And of course, a number have been declined as well. Not what the coaches want to see. Second and 12 now. Just under 5.5 to play in this 4th quarter. Buccaneers lead the Lions 24-14. Eric threat, cuts inside, has nowhere to go. Kelvin Pritchett in on the stop. Al Bundy has never been a fan of the feminist movement, but tonight he and his friends are declaring all-out war. Catch the ultimate battle of the sexes on the all-new Married with Children.
Detroit, timeout.
Timeout now as the Lions call their first of the second half with just over 5 remaining. Big third down coming up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The 3rd and 11. They have the ball at their own 19. Sam Weich's team leading 24-14 with just over 5 minutes remaining. They can get a first down here and get a couple of more plays and run the clock down. They'll be in pretty good shape.
Oh, that's exactly what they want to do. For Detroit, it would be extremely disappointing if they don't win this game. They lost the game last week they felt they should have won. They lose today, and then the next week they play, guess who? The 49ers.
Just a couple of weeks ago, they beat the Cowboys in Dallas, but that seems like a long time ago right now. Erickson just fires it away as he bumped into one of his own linemen. Some miscommunication on that play. Flag is thrown. There you see what lies ahead for Wayne Fonse's club.
No flag on a play. No flag on a play.
So they have the second toughest schedule, that being the Lions, in professional football. Kansas City has the first.
8 playoff teams from last year on their schedule. For 4th and 11, Straczynski will punt. Meldray once again is back. Short kick. Gray calls a fair catch just short of midfield. Lions will start. Good field position. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the 4th. Detroit still trails by 10. A 33-yard punt and no return. Just under 5 minutes remaining. 4th quarter at Tampa Stadium. Buccaneers looking to improve to 2-3. Well, Scott Mitchell wants something to say about that. Lions have the ball. Excellent field position at their own 49. Mike Breen along with Marcus Allen. Special thanks today to our spotter Marty Aronoff and our statistician Chuck Gardner. Mitchell to throw. Complete. Perryman again catches it. And it looks like they're going to move the chains. 12-yard gain on that one.
In order for Detroit to win this game, they have to do something on this drive. This drive is extremely critical. They have to get some points on the board. That was a good start for them right there.
Catch number 6 for Perriman. I want to remind you at the end of this game, Marcus and I will select the Miller Lite player of the game. Number of candidates today. Mitchell fires. Herman Moore catches it. They call it a completion. Got a 9-yard gain. Martin Mayhew on the coverage.
Covering defensively.
It's a beautiful job by Herman Moore. They give him a great deal of room, and he catches the ball. And the best 2 things about the last 2 receptions are that they got out of bounds on both catches. Stop the clock.
Moore came into the game with 22 catches through the first 4, but he's been relatively quiet. 2nd and 1. Sanders gets the first down and more. And finally brought down, but not before he gets up to the 16. Mike Magruder on the stop, a 14-yard gain.
Excellent call. They haven't ran that draw play very much, and it was called at the right time. As you can see, the defenders were in a defensive line was in a pass rush mode, and Barry just hit it right up the middle and does what he does best.
First down and 10. Ball at the Buccaneer 15. Mitchell has some time, fires for Perriman, catches it out of bounds, but a flag is thrown on the play. Charles Dimry is pointing at Perriman as if to say, this one's on you, pal. But let's get the call.
And Scott Mitchell's clapping his hands, so.
And Dimry looks frustrated. He really thought that it was going to be called against Perriman.
Illegal contact, number 39 of the defense, 5 yards, first down.
He was very confident in the way he went after Perriman, but obviously they call it the other way.
The contact was made 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. And I think he made a good play on that because he felt he was beat on the out and up move. So it was smart move to prevent the touchdown.
That's the new rule, or at least the emphasis on the no chunking this year, something that they hadn't enforced, but certainly doing it this year. Mitchell fires it to Perriman. He fumbles the ball. Buccaneers recover.
Bad luck for the Lions and great defense for the Buccaneers.
Tony Stargell picks up the loose ball.
Precisely at the right time. That's exactly what they needed.
Magruder on the hit to force the fumble.
They've been one of the worst teams in the league for causing turnovers, and they've sort of emphasized it this past couple of weeks. And guess what happens?
Another huge play for the Buccaneers. They still lead by 10, 3:56 remaining.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Diet Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for.
Sam Wyche's Tampa Bay Buccaneers were not discouraged after last week's terrible loss to the Packers. They've got a 10-point lead with 3:56 remaining here in the fourth. Erickson straight up the middle. Eric Red on the carry.
You have to give Sam Wyche a lot of credit. He doesn't.
First charge, timeout, Detroit.
He doesn't let the things
Second
bother
charge,
him that he hears
timeout.
outside
40
the
seconds,
ball
timeout,
club.
40 seconds.
They all like Sam a lot. They'll play hard for him. He's done an incredible job here.
Well, he said 1-3. If they win today, 2-3, they go to Atlanta, and they can win to the bye week at 500. And certainly then it's anybody's game. But then the schedule very difficult after that as well.
After this one, they're right back in the thick of things in the black and blue division.
Lions call this timeout, so they're down to just 1 remaining. Tampa Bay still has 3. But as you said earlier, Marcus, Wyche has said there's just something about this team. It's the best chemistry that he's seen on a team ever as his own, as being a head coach. And he just feels that they really believe in themselves. He says this team is different. This is not the same Buccaneer team.
Well, since the 72 over the Hill gang in Washington. So, and that was a great team. He feels strongly about this team. The players that are here like being here despite what they hear outside the stadium. And it's funny, I should ask him the question now, what does he feel about home field advantage, because it may change now.
Well, after a win like this, Buccaneers certainly hope they'll get a lot more people in the seats. Second down and 9. 3:49 remaining, fourth quarter. Vernon Turner on the carry. Flag is thrown. Turner thrown for a loss, but another penalty coming up. In terms of what coaches just hate to see the most, I would say after a game like this, they're going to be harping on the penalties and avoiding that.
Well, they certainly are. They'll bring it up in meetings and every opportunity they get at practice. And players obviously don't try to commit penalties, but they do happen. And next time I just have to try to alleviate them.
Both teams penalized quite a bit this afternoon. 3:43 remaining, fourth quarter. 3rd and 10 for the Buccaneers. Eric Brett is the lone setback. Big defensive play here for the Lions. And Erickson has to call timeout. So Tampa Bay now with 2 remaining.
Tampa Bay, 40-second timeout, 40 seconds.
Coming up next on Fox, the doubleheader continues. The Vikings and Cardinals. and also the Eagles to Candlestick Park to play the 49ers. Lions certainly want to get the ball back, but their last 2 possessions, they've been inside the 10-yard line of the Buccaneers, and they've come up with nothing. A missed field goal from 26 yards and a Perriman fumble.
Well, missed opportunities have been the hallmark the last 2 games for this team. They blew some opportunities in New England, and they've blown some here. The missed field goal, the turnover down there. They're not going to be happy with this.
Mitchell had moved the ball in both those possessions. Him and Perriman hooking up quite a bit with Moore. But again, they come up empty with the fumble and the missed field goal. So 3rd and 10. Eric Rett tries to get outside but stumbles. And Straczynski's going to have to punt deep in his own end zone. Spielman on the stop. Spielman has been all over the place. 14 tackles today.
Timeout, Detroit. 40-second timeout. 40 seconds.
So Lions now out of timeouts. They're going to get the football. Looks like they're going to get in good position once again.
Well, protection's important on this on the punt unit. They can't afford to have their punt blocked, so I'm quite sure Sam has talked to the players about that, or the special teams coach.
Bray's done it before. He's returned in his career 3 punts for touchdowns, 2 kickoffs for touchdowns.
Well, he's just as dangerous as Barry Sanders is in the backfield, so he can take it all the way at any time he gets his hands on the ball as well.
Now in his 9th year, 3-time Pro Bowler, Straczynski with a big punt coming up. Still time for the Lions with 3:35, but it's going to hurt them not having any timeouts. Gets it off, a short kick. Ray will call a fair catch. The Lions will take over at the Buccaneer 41, but yet another flag on the play. 38-yard punt.
Holding defense.
Wayne Fox has to be livid with all the penalties.
Oh, he's not going to be a happy camper.
Holding on the defense. We had a pull and shoot. 5 yards, first down offense.
Automatic first down.
Talk about a killer play.
That's devastating right there.
Bad enough to miss field goal, then the fumble. And here again.
With the personnel they had on the field offensively, they still had ample time to go down and score. And then this happens.
And once again, want to reiterate, no timeouts left. And the Buccaneers will have at least 3 more plays from scrimmage. Eric Rett, who was limping a little bit, comes out. Vernon Turner checks in.
I guarantee you he'll use every bit of this clock.
The numbers keep climbing on the penalties. Have it at their own 8. 1st and 10 for Erickson and the Buccaneers. Straight up the middle, McDowell. And he gets a few yards. Clock continues to wind down. Red now checks back in. 5-yard gain.
Right now, all they're saying in the huddle is, hey, hold on to the ball, guys. All we have to do is get another first down, hold on to the ball. I mean, he's stressing ball security right now, and it's our game.
Under 3 minutes remaining. Again, McDowell gets the call. Close to a first down. Once again, want to remind you to stay tuned to Fox. Doubleheader action this afternoon. Vikings and Cardinals, or the Eagles and the 49ers from Candlestick. You see your time remaining. Coming up on a 2-minute warning. Tampa Bay led at halftime 17-14. They scored early in the 3rd quarter. scored a couple plays after a block punt. The Lions have been scoreless here in the second half.
Goes Sam Weiss. I'm sure he's pleased. And obviously, you can see the disappointment on his face.
2-minute warning. 2 minutes. Timeout.
2 minutes remaining from Tampa Stadium. The Buccaneers are in control. 2-minute warning here in the fourth quarter. Tampa Bay looks like they're going to hold on and win a very important game.
A huge game for these guys.
You figure they lose today and go to 1-4, and again, just the same old Bucs. That cry increases and increases. Now all of a sudden people say, hey, wait a minute, they beat the Lions, who beat the Cowboys.
The sentiment is changing now.
3rd and 1. Appears that they got the first down. This clock now under 150. Erickson. First down. And that will pretty much do it. Right now, let's go to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Michael. New England, Green Bay. Well, Green Bay pulls ahead on this 1-yard dash by ex-Tampa Bay running back Reggie Cobb. Green Bay leads at 16-14, 46 seconds left. New England has the ball. Back to Tampa Bay, Mike and Marcus.
So a first down for Tampa Bay. They're just going to let the clock run down. The Lions are out of timeouts as we approach 1 minute remaining. That's a special teams coach, George Stewart. And he's responsible for our Miller Lite player of the game. Give it to his whole squad, that special team squad.
The entire special team. They did a great job.
Well done, Coach Stewart.
Returned the punt. Blocked the punt. They played well today. Well deserved.
He's going to have a good week coming up, that's for sure. Final minute at Tampa Stadium as the Lions continue to have their problems against the Buccaneers. Wayne Fontes' career record against them now will drop to 5-7. And the crowd, the Buccaneer faithful, maybe not a huge crowd, but they loved what they saw this afternoon. Going to be a long trip home for Wayne Fontes. But as we said earlier, Marcus, they had their opportunities.
They had plenty of opportunities, and I'm sure he's really disappointed after this loss.
So both teams in the NFC Central had 2 and 3 on the season. They lose their second in a row. For Marcus Allen, this is Mike Breen and our entire crew saying so long from Tampa Stadium with the final score, the Buccaneers 24, the Lions 14. Coming up next, most of you will see the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals, others to see the Philadelphia Eagles battle the San Francisco 49ers. You are watching Fox Sports coverage of the NFL.